Good morning, everybody. Kathy Hawk here. Um, so I want to remind you about where we are on this segment we're doing about getting into the flow pattern of your life and your river, and how that came about and where we are. But I think the first thing to remember is that you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't have a real inner knowing, like almost a calling, that you knew that your life was a journey. It's not just a straight line from get up, get born to pass away. That you know that there's a journey aspect to it, and that you're here for a reason. And that's what we started reinforcing earlier this week. And now let's keep going with it using the flow pattern of the river, using that metaphor. So I'm going to go over here in my studio to the river. And you know that you can get all of, the river map. Let me just show you the whole thing. You can get this on getclarity.com. It's easy to mail out. We can get it to you in a couple of days. And it's also, of course, included in the Get Clarity code, which I really hope we're launching on the 29th. And I really, really just hope all of you can buy that and get moving and get into a much more intentional flow pattern. So what we covered here when we started was starting out, setting your course. You see a little spring there, and refining your focus, about living lights on, lights off, holding your own. That's what sacred selfishness is holding on to your vital energy no matter what happens, becoming a high noticer. What lights you up? Remember that energy detective that we talked about? Take a look at where noticing and resistance is, flow. And then we gave you that wonderful opportunity, and this is one of my favorite places on the Get Clarity River. And that is that it's so easy to get stuck in old patterns, habits, and drama. And the result is just getting stuck. And I say just because it doesn't mean you're a bad person, or you haven't, you don't, it's not judgmental. So, but if you can get up here, and that's what we're working on, into passion, vision, discovery, you get energy and flow. You can start to launch your vision. And then what happens here is, and this is what we're talking about today. So I'm going to divide this river journey into 4 parts for you. And we're going to do the launch. We're going to have you cast off, where you get into what I call the rough part of the river. See, doubt comes in, and monkey mind, and you have to take a time out. And that's what I hope you're doing with this, with watching Facebook Live with me on this. And then we're going to move into the recovery. So things do happen along the journey. How do you recover? And we'll do that. Let me make sure I got you lined up with the mountains there. Okay, and then we're going to do the recovery and the really fast movement later. Next week, actually, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to do next week, Wednesday and Friday. So let me talk to you then. Let's talk today about that part of the river, the rough part, where, where things that you're going to have to learn to encounter come up to you. So what does that mean? It's like, well, if you have an idea, say, for a new business, and you know that there are things that you've thought about, you're smart, you've lined it out, you're looking for lights on, and then you know that you could have what I always call these wild cards that just jump in and like, oh my God, I didn't think of that. And that's the rough part of the river, because what it shows it to you in a way that you can begin to create the strategies that you need to get past that rough part and go into the rapid discovery, rapid recovery. And then you can really get into flow. So I think of it in a way I don't know. Have you ever heard people say like, like you get, sort of a little bit sicker before you're recovering from something, and they'll say, "Oh, that's a sign of healing." Well, in a way, um, uh, uh, getting these bumps early on are really, really great ways for you to get your strength and keep going. So that's why the rough part of the river here, and I know that's shiny, so that's why so this why we're working through this part of the river here um, is so important because it you have to have faith that you're in the right river. You're on a journey. You may not know where you're headed, but you know that it feels right. And if it doesn't feel right energetically, not right or wrong, but right as in feels like it's you, whether your light's on or not, the most important thing is that you stay on that journey and that you start your day like you're starting it today. We talked about starting today. What do highly successful people do when they start their day? They start out, whether you're in the rough part of the river, whether you're in the discovery phase, whether you're well down the flow pattern, you started your day with intention, and then you make your intention statement. See this thread that runs all the way through it? Then you focus on it. And then you make an intentional action plan that, in clarity, we call it a bridge plan from where are you now to where you want to go, and what are the action steps that'll get you there. And then and you learn to hold your lights on energy no matter what, and that creates attraction. So when I say no matter what does that mean? Well, because there are times where things really knock your lights out. I'll tell you, I think COVID has collectively knocked the lights out of almost everybody that I've talked to, and how it is that they're recovering, how they're going, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We're going to be safe. We're going to do these things. We're going to get creative. We're going to ride out this storm. And they do it by being intentional, that what we were just talking about, and knowing that in that cyclone of doubt that comes up, that if you just stay with your lights on, what you've discovered, make your intentional plan, stay with it. Let's keep listening to Facebook Live, because I've really focused so much of what we've been talking about these months and how to get through this. I started these broadcasts a little bit before I knew about COVID. It wasn't on the radar. It was just kind of starting. And then I was like, wow, it is such a good thing that I decided to figure out a way to talk to you all to help you get through this. And that is what's important to me, is that you come out of all of this as changed people with changes that'll work for you. So know that the next, as we move down this flow pattern, this river, your journey, know that we will be looking for the factors that will help you do rapid discovery. First of all, you have to figure out, if you're getting drained, and then you have to have a recovery strategy. And that's what we're going to work on next. And so we've got the code coming up out on the 29th, being relaunched. We did some really good research and relaunching it with some new and exciting changes in it. So that will be coming out for $497, which is a really good price. And that'll be coming out on the 29th of October. All right. So I'll see you next week, and you are floating the river. You're in it. You are your own guide, and you trust yourself. You trust your knowing, trust your inner lights, trust all that you know is true. So I'm going to end this and let you have a